Good evening, Prescott Valley. We'll call this meeting to order. This is the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting on Tuesday, October 19th. We'll start off with a roll call.
Commissioner Frere?
Here.
Vice Chair Polican?
Here.
Commissioner Brinkman?
Here.
Commissioner Trovini?
Here.
Chairperson Gummer?
Yes. Moving on, we'll go to the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for October the 9th, 2018.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on, we'll go to the approval of the minutes for the last three work study and meetings we've had. September 11th, 2018 work study meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 11th, 2018 work study meeting minutes.
I have a motion of a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're looking for an approval of the minutes from the September regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 11th, 2018 regular meeting minutes.
I have a motion of a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion of a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, finally, September 25th work study minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 25th, 2018 work study meeting minutes.
I have a motion of a second.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Moving on, we'll go to scheduled announcements. First up, we have Scott Norton, the general manager of the Prescott Valley Event Center, to come speak with us tonight about the ice skating season. Thank you for coming tonight, Scott.
Thanks, everyone, for having me. We're excited to take over the program from the town. We've had multiple meetings with the town officials about the transition and so forth. So, we just finalized the tentative schedule right now. It could potentially change, but it looks very strong that it will be what it is currently. So I can kind of run through just the numbers for you in terms of the skating sessions and so forth, and then I'd like to share with you some of the ideas that we have to promote it and work with the city to drive as many folks through the skating program as we can. So,
perfect.
We are currently scheduled to host 75 public skate sessions, and that would be in addition to 23 adult hockey games or sessions. And we'll probably plug in some puck and stick time around that if we can. But we have a very strong, or what I consider to be a very strong, holiday schedule. In meeting with the town officials, which, by the way, Brady Peck has been great assisting us with the transition and might work for us a little part-time through the initial stages of it, but we're very confident in the folks that we have running it, and again, looking forward to kicking it off November 17th, Saturday, November 17th. Just in terms of the dates, again, initial start date Saturday the 17th, and then the last day would be Monday the 7th of January. So approximately 6 weeks. In terms of the ideas we have for it, we're certainly going to put a little paid media towards it. I'm not exactly sure what was done in the past, but we're certainly looking to enhance that. In addition to signage, social media, grassroots. We are going to continue with the theme nights, similar to what has been done in the past. I think we're going to try and do a holiday session where we'll promote that as such, in addition to running it on our cross-promoting it at our other events. So, similar to the ticketed events we do, we would cross-promote that on our concourse monitors, the outdoor marquees, ribbon boards, and so forth. Basically going to sick my team at it, and I'm a hockey guy, grew up playing back east and stuff, so I certainly have a passion for having the ice in, so my entire staff is looking forward to it. I would like to share that we went up a little bit in price from last year, and I can give you those prices, still very reasonable in my mind. So under 12 will be $3 for the session itself. 13 plus would be $5, and then skate rentals would be $4 regardless of age, and then sharpening will be $6. So we went up 50 cents just on the pricing for the session for adults and kids, taking into account that, minimum wage increases, and we have another 50-cent increase coming January 1. So would also like to share that we are bringing on employees who had worked in the past for the program. A little bit different because the town and a lot of those employees, as you guys probably are aware, worked at the pool and so forth. Unfortunately, under Spectra rules, we require folks to be 18, so that has ruled out some of those folks, but the benefit is that those that will be joining, if they want to work other events to get additional hours,
Nice.
because they're on our payroll, they can do that, and that's certainly up to them. Would like to share, too, that we did purchase a new POS system, touchscreen POS system for the program. We're hopeful that we can get people in a little faster and get them on the ice quicker, kind of be a little bit more efficient in terms of usage of the ice and the hours and so forth. So that's pretty much all I had, but certainly open for questions.
So you said adult hockey. Is there going to be a league and then a formal league forming?
The adult hockey right now is 4 teams.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much already formed. And if we can, we typically do like a 10-game season, if you will, and then playoffs. Part of the challenge is with our other events, and hopefully more, it's, we can't guarantee it, and, you can't really put them on back-to-back nights and so forth. So, but I think the guys will be happy with the schedule. My person, Scott Rupke, who worked the program last year, managed it, feels the schedule will be conducive to their needs, so we're hopeful it will be.
Very good.
So, Scott,
Yes, sir.
regarding that hockey league, is there a cost to go to watch the games?
There is no cost to go watch the games. It's strictly participatory. They can bring in family and friends to watch it. There's just no cost associated.
So is
with
that
it.
schedule going to be posted?
We can post it. Typically, it's just it's not something we would post online, but we certainly can. We can certainly list the games for people to come check them out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Sure.
Go see some good hockey buzz. You probably would too, right?
It's the locals from the town, so we've seen some of these guys, and they're exciting games. Guys have been, you can tell they've
Yeah,
played some hockey.
it runs the gamut. Me at 52, that's what you're going to see out there. So whatever I got left in the tank, and
Yeah.
so, but it's a wide range, but it's competitive. These, and they very much appreciate, because the reality is that these guys, if they didn't have us, they'd be trucking it down to Phoenix or Flag to go play. So they very much appreciate it.
I'm excited that we have 75 sessions through November and January. I was worried we might have to start cutting down some of that time span, but I'm excited how much skating the people are going to be able to do. And also when you say open skate sometimes with puck and stick on ice, because sometimes the people don't want to play in a hockey game, but the opportunity to take the puck and the stick, shoot a puck in the net, skate around when
Yeah, and
pleasure
it's,
skating is just you can't get out there with that.
Back east, it's the classic stick time. You show up, you pay your $10, and you get out there and have at it. And if a game gets going, so be it. If not, then
Always
good
get some
enough.
pickup games going through that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. And again, we just, we obviously need to be, financially, we just need to watch out too, because any of the burning lights and so forth. So we just felt, again, given the number of sessions at 75 was very competitive. We were able to add a few more today after a meeting. So yeah, we think it's going to be a great season.
So is there a fee for the stick time for the practices for the adult teams?
Yes, $10.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what the charge is for the league, but basically when you join the league, you pay for the season, pay for the 10 games.
When you get out there, I want to call me so I can come and see your best Gretzky shots.
Yeah, and I have saved my skates and sticks from the old
There you go.
days. So, yeah, but
Come on out.
But like you say, the tank gets a little empty after you get a little older.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll fire up the ice plant on Sunday the 4th, and it takes us about 3 days to build it and paint out the lines and so forth. And then we've got a couple other ticketed events in front of that. So we'll kick it off on the 17th. So.
And I know it's such a huge expense to keep the ice going and that, so we do really appreciate the fact that we're still going to have ice skating in town. I know the town, our seasons grew and grew and grew year after year, so I'm excited that we still have it.
Yeah, and we think we'd love to do some outreach to basically to the CVBs and boards around here in the Quad City area, get our partners in Prescott to promote it. Is the expectation that someone's going to drive up from Phoenix just for that? Maybe not, but at the same time, if they know it's here and they see it on the marquee, if they do come up for a Christmas gathering, maybe we capture them. So we're trying to expand our reach a little bit more.
On that same note, are you looking to broadcast it out to the greater Humboldt Unified School District, Prescott Unified School District for all the little ones, out there, just to make that outreach available to, because it's mostly a family event, what I've seen a lot of the times for the free skates. Are you guys looking to kind of put that information out to those school districts, if you would, in the local area, Chino Valley?
Yeah, I mean, we would love to. I think it is a program that would resonate. I mean, sometimes, at least for our ticketed events, it's the schools don't necessarily want us promoting it to them. Of course, depending on the event, but I think this would be a good one. So I think it would be a good idea, and we have connections with all of the school districts because they do all their graduations at our place. So that's certainly a great idea, and I'll write it down. We'll look into it.
Very cool.
It is fun for the kids when they're out of school. Gives them something to do
Winter breaks,
while they're
fall
on
breaks.
school.
And that's obviously our biggest season is that that Thanksgiving to Christmas window. So that's kind of our sweet spot. So if you look at our schedule around the holidays, we're basically looking at 3 sessions a day and so forth. So we definitely try because that's when everyone's in the skating mode. So that's
Absolutely.
definitely our focus, if you will.
Brings a lot of family fun together. Any other
Yeah,
questions?
come on out.
You have really some good ideas, and hopefully the program will grow. It's been extremely popular over the years, and it'll be interesting to see how professional management deals with that. And hopefully it'll just continue to grow.
I see it happening.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and just on a secondary note, because I always get asked, what about a hockey team and so forth, and we're diligently trying to, bring like a Coyotes exhibition game here or some other opportunities there. Again, people always ask me about the hockey. We do have our, feelers out there and stuff, but it really comes down to, finding an ownership group and then the appropriate league to be here. Which can be a little bit of a challenge because the league that would be most appropriate here really doesn't have any Southwest teams, so we'd be at the end of the travel leg, if you will. So, but it's still out there, and so if you know anyone that wants to own a hockey team, let me know.
In years past, we had Flagstaff actually come and played. The college came and played a few games down here.
Yeah, and we did an NAU tournament last year, and we're certainly open for that. I think depending on the structure of the deal, it has to make sense, and the teams have to be right to create that draw. But we're certainly open to that, and we're certainly looking to, once we have this schedule in, if there's open dates, we may get teams or even teams out of the Valley leagues that may just want to come up and rent the ice because of the lack of ice down there, or they want to travel out of town, or they can create a mini tournament. So talking to a couple college coaches about that. So
Great.
yeah.
I couldn't get tickets for Minnesota and North Dakota playing in Vegas. So if we could get those guys here next year, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would certainly be a draw. And I know we did well a couple years ago with ASU coming up, and they're in the 4th year of their D1 program. So as they get stronger, obviously like a perfect scenario would be like an NAU and ASU and maybe Arizona, something like that would really draw. So
Yep. I think the town's still looking for hockey.
Absolutely.
We all enjoyed it in the past.
Yep.
Any other questions, comments for Scott? Scott, we thank you so much for coming tonight, and thank you so much for all of our ice sessions we are getting. We are happy that we are growing and continuing the ice skiing season.
Excellent. Appreciate the time tonight. Looking
Thanks,
forward to
Scott.
it.
Moving on, we'll go on to the Festival of Lights, November 30th. We'll talk with Jason.
Good evening, Commissioners. Bear with me while I attempt to make this work. That didn't do anything at all.
Press that again and press F5. That'll do your trick.
There you go.
Boom.
This is why they don't let me get up here in front of you often. So good evening. So this evening I am here to discuss a few events that we have upcoming. This year, Festival of Lights will be a week earlier than usually scheduled. It'll be held on November 30th. We're accepting entries for the light parade. And for more information, you want to go to the pvchamber.org or call them. It'll be from 5 to 7 p.m. We'll also have pictures with Santa that evening. And we'll also have our Create a Tree displays going up that day. They'll be going up several days prior, but that'll be the unveiling of them. Create a Tree will be the 17th annual exhibit, and we are promoting your organization as free, fun, artistic holiday display, and creativity is encouraged. Accepting applications from October 15th through November 15th, and we'll start setting up on the 28th of November. Wednesday and Thursday the 29th, we'll have a People's Choice Award. Voting starts on the 30th of November and goes through January 2nd. All trees must be removed by January 3rd by 5 p.m. That is something that we kind of press because it does take up a lot of space in the library, and we want to make sure we give them back, everything, get things out of their way. Santa will be in the building on Friday the 30th. We did schedule an appointment with him to come to town. It'll be from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Parents will be given the link to get their photos online for children who take pictures with Santa that evening. Children will have an opportunity to see Santa, discuss their opportunities for presents during Christmas time, receive a treat from the Parks and Rec Department staff that is there, and get a picture. We have some new classes coming around right now. We have this yoga class that's going to be starting. Certified yoga instructor and yoga, I cannot pronounce this well enough. Nidra facilitator Lisa Van Wormer welcomes you to a calm, safe, and healing space to let go of stress and help your body restore its innate balance naturally. Yoga, one more time, Kathy. Nidra creates a relaxation response to the body and teaches you to let go of your worries effortlessly. I probably need to join this class just by reading that right there.
It's quite a stretch.
Yeah, I can tell you there's several more of you up here that were... anything that will let me sleep better and reduce anxiety, I'm 100% on board, tell you what. So...
What's the date that starts? I didn't see the date on there.
Tuesdays?
I don't believe at this time it has been determined. It is just coming up. It'll be Tuesdays from 3 to 4:30 and from 6:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
I want to say it's going to probably begin in November.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on the website.
Registration for volleyball is starting for the town of Prescott Valley. It will open November 5th and go through the 21st of December, or until maximum capacities are reached, what happens every year. It's $150 per team. We'll have co-ed A, B, and C, and women's A and B. They'll play on various nights throughout the week. Games will begin the week of January 7th. I like to partake in volleyball. I am awful at it, but I do get out and recreate. I do need to get some, activity. Mr. Gummer, Commissioner Gummer, he gets out there too. He is far better than I am. I believe he's probably going to, be a source of a lot of entertainment this year.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to stay on the court.
Yeah. Capital projects. I was asked this evening to discuss some capital projects that we have going on. And as we stand right now, we've got a couple projects going out for bid. The playground at Mountain Valley Park, we are currently accepting proposals for that, or people are in the beginning phases. We do have some meetings scheduled with some possible construction companies and contractors, designers this week. We're also meeting with Daktronics this week in regards to the scoreboards that'll be going in out at Mountain Valley Park on fields 3 and 4. And that'll be for scoreboards for use for various sports activities. We have just completed, well, Mother Nature has not let us complete it quite yet, but we did do the overlay project at Mountain Valley Park in the parking lots. We are working closely with the construction company on that. You know, the slurry that we're using can go down. It's the oil. It's a thick oil. Can go down and be applied and adhere very rapidly. It's the painting of the lines that becomes difficult to get back in there and do when we're receiving so much rainfall, which will take the rainfall, and the lines will get done, and everything's working just fine. So we're going to be rescheduling last weekends, hopefully for this weekend. We're waiting to hear from them. They kind of wait and watch the weather too. There is another round of storms coming in this week from another hurricane. But however, they think it's going to stay more south, but we could receive precipitation from it. So I know they're probably watching the weather forecast, and they will inform me as soon as possible on what they need to do. The Run for the Hill event. This was an exciting event that took place, 2 weeks ago now. We had 76 registrations for this event. 13 more signed up on site the day of. We had, we got a lot of staff recruitment, went out and talked to a lot of people. There was a lot of family activities. Just like any event we hadn't had it for a while. We had our kinks and stuff, but we were able to work it out. We as a group have discussed how we can only improve it and make it better, and we received a lot of positive feedback from the people that were participating in it, and we're only going to look to improve the route for the years to come and how to ferry people back and forth maybe a little better in the future.
Very good. Any comments, questions for Jason? Touching on capital reports, I have a little bit of info on the George Anderson Park. It's supposedly going to be installed anywhere from November 5th to the 15th, and we're hoping for a ribbon cutting on November 17th. If it's going to be Mother Nature cooperates and everything else we were talking about. Anything else for Jason? Moving on, we'll go back to the director's report with Jason. Anybody questions, comments for Jason in the director's report? Anything you need to touch on, Jason, in your director's report?
Well, as you're aware, this last weekend, we just discussed it, Mother Nature had other plans for us than to have an event. So Gold Fever Days was postponed. We were struggling to find vendors for the event up into it. Food vendors were tough to come by, vendors for arts, vendors for various, businesses, things of that nature. We seem to be having difficulty getting them to sign on. A lot of what we were hearing was just the time of year. We're finding a lot of people involved in outdoor activities this time of year. Other large events that were also taking place in town. We had not seen the air show in several years, and they decided to come back that weekend. Also other things going on with other municipalities and private organizations. We are currently looking to pick a date in the spring at this time that would work best for our town, and possibly even coordinate with another department to put on a very large event that would attract a lot of public. At this time, there's really no dates that have been selected. We're looking at the month of April almost being out, considering how busy we are with Arbor Day, Extravaganza, and then there's Easter itself in there that we need to stay away from. So we're looking at possibly May at this time. March may be a little too cold. So the other thing that'll be coming to play is the type of fish that we typically have stocked for this event is trout. And we'll have to work closely with Game and Fish, because beginning of May might start to be too warm to put trout in there, and we may have to switch to catfish. And then we're going to need to switch all of our setups that are on the poles that we currently have, and Game and Fish's involvement too in that event. So we are working on it diligently. Staff is trying to wrap their heads around it and put forth the best opportunity to have a very large scale event at Fane Park with lots of involvement by the public and another department that I have yet to speak to, but currently likes to use our facility for one of their activities at the same time of year too.
Good. Any questions, comments for Jason on his report? Okay, thank you, Jason, so much. We'll move on to the chairperson's report. So as we've talked in the parks as far as future growth in Prescott Valley, as the Prescott Valley keeps growing, the future for the Parks and Recreation will continue to grow. We've always talked about breaking that bubble with our parks as far as not, getting into the same idea, setting the parks in the same way. And that being said, the future parks and their design will have a new trend of play. Parks will engage the mind, we're going to activate the body, and bring the community together. How they're going to do this is going to be bringing different design where we're going to try and, instead of setting off a group of younger kids on this playground and older kids here, trying to integrate it all together is the future concept. So older kids are playing with younger kids and teaching and younger learning, and parents are getting involved. Typical designs for many years have separated different areas, causing many people to explore the whole part of the park and spending less time in the parks. So breaking the bubble of parks is to reinvent many activities inside the park. Integrating interactive spaces encourages families to explore and engage new ways to engage with the park. Design ideas can create parks with opportunities for all ages and abilities. Park layouts can encourage movement and social interaction among the community. Walkways become play, play becomes art, art becomes a shade. With that, some of the ideas were maybe where you possibly build a bridge in your park or a walkway, and underneath that bridge you have tables where there's shade and different ideas like that. That's the new trends of the future. So park layouts will encourage movement, social activity, and communities are benefiting from the healthy activities and bringing people together, leading to positive changes for all in the community just by reinventing designs of the parks. So we've all talked about that many times as far as our parks when we're looking at future, when we're expecting to have possibly 80,000 people here in the next years coming. We're going to be looking at designs where how can we try and get people possibly more than just going to a certain part of the park and sitting for a while and say, okay, kids, let's go home. We know we have some future parks that are going to be of considerable size, and if we could start maybe integrating some different designs and ideas and walkways and things to encourage everybody to come and look and stay in our park for a while and really enjoy what we're offering. Any questions, comments?
Sounds very good.
I know that we have all been thinking of this, and as Brian has always told us, we need to start thinking out of the bubble.
Well, and I think, utilizing the open spaces that we do have for what people in this area seem to be taking advantage of, and that's the natural spaces. Redefining what we all think of as a park may not be the traditional sense, so that's timely in your statement there, Buzz, is thinking outside the box and getting outside of the bubble of what is normal for our area and expanding upon that. So,
I mean, what we've always looked at is a ball field, a basketball court, a playground set, a picnic table here and there. And like I say, we have an exciting time now for us coming, and with the growth of Prescott Valley, we can all start reinventing what we're thinking of at parks. Instead of saying every park has to have this, we now have an open canvas for designs and ideas, and hopefully the community all come, and even community output is a huge part of this also. We've always considered the community to give them invitations to come and say, what would you like to see in some of our parks, and what were you looking at? Trails, future, and of course we don't know the future of all the new trends that are going to be coming and what people are going to want, because that changes daily. But it's an exciting time for this commission to be looking at the future, saying we can have a design on some of these parks in our future.
With the update of the master plan, the public will get a chance to give us input, and we can share that vision with them beforehand and tell them to be innovative and different, so that we can see what the town wants.
With the growth comes also the excitement. Moving on, we'll go to the Tree Advisory Committee. Board business, the chairperson's report. So the end of year report is in. The renewal app is in for December. We should get a notice by February, March get our grant monies again and such, and after that, we'll start getting dates and things ready for our meetings. Moving on, we'll go to new business. We'll look at the annual report review. And this will be an action request item for Town Council on the 25th of October for further action. So does anybody, Jason, any points you want to touch on?
You know, currently, as you said, we are growing rapidly, and you'll see through our activities and our department's efforts, we are doing all that we can to continue to meet the new demands and needs of our organization and our community. Activities and events, we continue to ramp up. We continue to find great partnerships within our community for our events such as Polar Bear Splash, Gold Fever Days, Daddy-Daughter Date Night. And if it wasn't for a lot of these partners, we would really, really struggle to put on these events and activities. One thing that we're still continually finding difficulty with is space. More people want lighted fields. More people want rooms and classrooms for rental, things of that nature. And we work within our IGA and the school district to try and meet those demands, but it is difficult. And those will be things that, as you said, in our master plans and things we go forward, that we're going to need to look at. Park house buildings and things of nature that we may have to expand upon. But we put together this annual report so that we can go and show our growth, our continued efforts, and that the public is enjoying our parks and our recreation and our leisure services, and we will only continue to get better.
It looks like the annual report slimmed down a little bit this year, which is kind of, I think, a nice presentation. So what we have tonight is still in draft form, and if you have any comments, I'm sure they can be incorporated. But I guess what we want to do is make a motion to approve the draft for presentation to the council on October 25th.
Yes.
And I will make that motion.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second. All those in favor of forwarding this to council? Well, this is a draft, but we will come up with a final for council for the 25th of October. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. The annual report always looks good, and like I say, with the growth we're having and the minimum staff you have, everything has been going, in our eyes, Jason, very, very well done. Very well done.
Thank you.
Pass that on to your people if you would.
I absolutely will.
Okay, so moving on with that, we have requested future work study meetings. The first one would be an annual park tour. We like to usually do these every year. I don't know if we're going to be looking at all the parks or just some of the main. I'm sure George Anderson will be in there, some of the other main ones we look at, but we'll probably need a 4-hour tour, like more than a little.
Our director is hoping that to take place sometime in November on a Saturday, if possible.
This Saturday?
No.
November.
Sometime in
Oh,
November
okay.
on a Saturday.
One thing I was thinking of is just, with Mountain Valley, it sounds like it's having a significant makeover in the near future, prior to bids being placed, prior to that concept being accepted, making that part of the tour in a significant manner, because that is a regional park, and we want to make sure that it is treated as such when it comes to that park tour. If we can make that kind of accommodate that park tour in relationship to the bid process, if you would. I don't know where that's at specifically.
We have at this time we're just receiving proposals, so it would absolutely be an opportunity for you to get out there before those all proposals come back, or maybe with even some of the proposals in hand that you could take out on site with you.
I think that would be beneficial for the commission.
As far as Saturdays in November, I think the 17th, if we're shooting for a ribbon cutting, we can pretty much eliminate the 17th of November.
Okay.
And that's if everything falls into place.
How's the 24th look?
Thanksgiving weekend is.
Oh, is it?
Thanksgiving.
I don't do, yeah.
Could we would look maybe
Okay.
possibly the weekend before the 17th? What would that be?
The 10th?
10th?
That's Veterans Day weekend.
Veterans Day weekend.
Third.
The 3rd.
Halloween hangover weekend?
Yeah.
It is deer season, but that doesn't affect everyone.
The
And
lucky few.
Would December 1st, I know it's out of November, but December 1st is the. would
That
theory
is
be the-
definitely a possibility.
That'd be
if
the
that would
last
work best for
Saturday,
everyone.
in theory.
maybe that would be a little better because everybody's kind of busy with the month of November. December 1st.
That can be negotiated, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll put down tentative December 1st for the annual park tour, probably meet at 8 o'clock and probably plan on at least till noon.
That is correct.
An event budget planning. There's another, we want to possibly do that on a work study night with a Tuesday? We're looking to continue on maybe in December with.
Yeah, December 11th, somewhere in that range, associated with the meeting itself. We don't have a meeting in December, do we?
Right.
Yeah, we don't.
Typically not. We do have some possible meeting, and I have to apologize. We're not exactly clear on this, and I do apologize. Kathy and I spoke briefly about this. We believe the next work study meeting would be Tuesday, October 23rd. We believe. We're going to need to clarify this for you before we move forward. And then we're looking at a possible work study meeting of also Tuesday, November 13th. So I don't believe that we're quite clear on that. Those might be two opportunities to get together. And I think that Brian was asking, and I'm sure he asked me to ask you this, and I don't recall. It would pick one of those dates that would work best for the commissioners, and then that would be something that they could do.
And what would that comprise of? The event budget planning, is that?
At this time, I think it's just talking over what events that we are putting forth, and as a group, what you would like to see continue and be spent, how you would like us to spend department dollars on these events, and what events you possibly might want to see revamped, and in what way you want to see those revamped, and what cost you believe would be associated, what we believe would be associated, and how we can make that work.
I see. Okay.
And that is just a guess. I believe that's what we want to
Sure.
do.
May use a theater on the green. How would you do that better? There's probably a lot of opportunities.
That is correct.
Some events might even end up getting cut from the budget, things like this. Okay. So we will come up with a tentative date. Should we just kind of table this for now and hear back from staff about as far as October, maybe possibly, because I know the other two work study meetings were kind of already planned for master.
And looking at the schedule on the 23rd, as we discussed before the meeting began, two of us will be out of town on the 23rd. Three of us out of town on the 23rd, so we may need to reschedule that October 23rd work study meeting.
Okay. We'll take note of that and make it work best we can.
Then we will table for now, and we'll come up with some dates, and then we'll all check schedules. Very good. Moving on. Anybody else has anything else before we have unscheduled? Moving on, we'll go to unscheduled public appearances. If anybody would like to wish to come up to speak to the Parks Commission, they are free to do so at this time. Having none, we'll move on to going over the next meetings. We have a tentative October 23rd. We have a work study meeting November 13th at 5:30 at the auditorium before our regular meeting. And right after that, we will have the regular meeting for November at 6:30 right here in this auditorium. So, and if nobody else has anything else, I'll accept a motion for adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, Prescott Valley. See you next month.